Hello everyone, welcome to Jennifer's Sewing and Crochet. Today I want to start off by saying thank you to all my new subscribers to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate your support. We are going to continue today by working on our flying geese portion and our half triangle squares. In our first video I covered everything you would need to complete the quilt and the blocks. In our second video, we did the corner portions, which are here and here. Then on our part 3 video, we did our first diamond portion, and that is here, and with the 3.5 by 6.5 inch rectangle. I know it's a little harder to see on this part, but that is this unit. Okay, and we are going to start off by completing our half square, or our half triangle squares. Let me move this aside. Okay. So in all my videos, at the end of the video, you will find photos of the directions at the end of the video. It'll have a close-up picture of everything, and you can refer to the end of the video for those photos. We're going to continue, and we're going to take our marked pieces that on the last video that we discussed. So we're going to take our 2 3/8 inch squares, and that's these here. Let me adjust that light a little better. Okay, so I went ahead and I lined these up, but we are going to have to first start by making some additional marks on these. Had a little too much coffee today, I'm a little shaky. Okay. So with our 2 3/8 squares, on our previous video, it had us mark a diagonal line from one corner to the next. But this is where I use my 1/4 inch ruler. We mark from corner to corner to start. And let me get that lined up right. And I am going to use a white pencil just so we can see this a little bit better on video. So you're going to do your center line, and you're also going to mark a 1/4 inch seam line, and I will show you why in just a moment. This ruler is really good for that. Okay, so I marked my center, then I marked on each side, and you can see our lines there. They are a little faint. Let me mark that center one just a little bit better. I like to actually start in the center and draw the line down, and then from the center again and mark in the opposite direction. And that's just, I like to do that so it doesn't really stretch my square out of shape. Okay, so you're going to mark all your pieces like that. And the reason why we do that is, let me find my correct side. So we're going to do right sides facing each other. Okay. And then you're going to sew on the 1/4 inch seam and this 1/4 inch seam. And we'll be cutting on the center. Okay. Then let me adjust the camera. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to sew on this line here, I went ahead and already pieced the first 3, or sewn the first 3. And my block isn't lined up too well there. There we go. Okay. Then what we're going to do is, I'm going to find my clippers. We are going to clip them apart again, or we're going to clip them apart, and you are going to flip them back around, and you're going to, let me find my one that's marked a little better. You're going to sew on the other seam. So you're going to do right along there. Okay, so I'm going to complete the other 3 and I will show you your next step. Okay, so I have those pieces chained, stitched, and I'm going to clip those apart and my little thread ends. And then what we're going to do, get those, that one. Okay, so on our center seam, or I'm sorry, our center line that we marked, you can either line up and do with your cutter, your rotary, and just slice right across, or you can just take your scissors and cut right across. Whichever way you prefer is fine. And one more. Okay. So your 4 pieces that you sewed into half square triangles. Okay. And then you're going to take these and, or sorry, your 4 pieces have now become 8 pieces. You're going to take these to your iron and you're going to press your seam to the orange side, or in my case would be the white fabric. Okay, so let me press these seams and I will be right back. Okay, so I have all my half triangle pieces pressed and the seam pressed to the white side, and your pieces should finish, let's see, to a 2-inch square. Okay. Our next step will be, you're going to align a marked cream tone-on-tone square with a left-hand end of an A-print 2 and 3.5 inch rectangle. Okay, and our rectangles are here. So we're going to take our, my fingers are really not wanting to work today. Too much coffee. Okay, so what I like to do is I just like to trim off my little dog ears. It just allows me to line up a little bit better. Just nip them. You don't have to cut all the way up against the edge of the fabric. I have made the mistake and nipped into the side. So I just kind of maybe 1 or 2 threads from the edge, if that makes sense. That was a learning experience for me on my little tiny baby triangles. I really like these little nippers that I'm using. I got one when I bought a seam ruler, and this was in the little kit that came in there. It had a the ruler, the little nippers, and a my brain's not working. One of these, a seam ripper. My brain did not want to work. Okay, so we're going to take one of our 2 by 3.5 inch rectangles, and an important thing for you to do is to make sure you pay attention to the placement. So in my case, it will be lined up. Let me grab our block, like so. Okay. And I am like messing up here. Hang on just a second. I think I have gotten a step ahead somewhere. Okay, so we have created our half square, our half triangle squares. Then we're going to align a marked cream tone on tone 2-inch square. Sorry about that, 2-inch square. Okay, so that is our marked. From our previous video where we marked diagonally across the 2-inch squares, I got ahead of myself. Okay, so we're going to take, and we're actually going to create our flying geese. This is definitely a learn as I go tutorial. Sorry about that little mistake. We all make them. Okay, so we're going to take our piece, and where our line is, where we marked it, you're going to go from this part to this part. So your mark, make sure your mark is always in the bottom corner. So your diagonal line, you're going to put at the bottom corner. My gosh, I cannot get nothing lined up today. Some days sewing is like everything goes right, and then some other days you just, your brain's like warped. I think today's one of those days for me. Okay, let's try a different one. That one I think is that small one that I cut a little too small. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, so again, our marked piece is going to, our mark is from this corner to this corner. Place the mark at your bottom corner, and we're going to sew right on that mark. So let me get these other pieces set up, and I will be right back. Okay, so here is our piece. I remarked this one so we can see it a little bit better on camera. Get that lined up. And how we had our mark down at the bottom. Oh God, that nail looks horrible. Okay, excuse me. We're going to take and have it lined up to the bottom corner and across. We're going to start on that corner. I went ahead and chain pieced the others and line that up just a little better. Okay, Just sew right across there. Okay. I really need to visit a salon. Wow, my nails are awful. Okay, so we're going to clip those apart. And let me readjust a camera again, and I will show you the next step. Okay, so I have them all clipped apart. What you're going to want to do is, again, take your scissors or your rotary cutter, and you're going to cut on the outer part of your triangle, and you're going to leave your 1/4 inch inseam or your 1/4 inch seam and just cut right across. Okay. And again, you're going to want to press your seams. And in this case, we are going to press them towards the black side. Okay, so we have it cut off. We're going to open it up and press your seams to the black side. Okay, let me get those pressed and I will be right back. Okay, so I have all of our pieces pressed with the seam towards the black. Then what we're going to do is you're going to take your next pieces and you are going to line up again at the bottom corner. And this is where the pressing is really good, because it'll help lie flat on this next portion when you go over this edge. You can either start, when you sew, you can either start from your corner and go across, which I like to do, or you can start at this corner and go across. It all depends on which way you want to do it. So we're going to get these all lined up. There's no wrong way or right way to attach it to when you sew it. It's preference, but some patterns will tell you which point to start sewing on, and that can be in order to line those the seams up correctly when you press them. Some certain constructions or constructing of the blocks will really depend on that. Okay, so on this one, actually, you'll see that I cut it just a little bit small, but that's okay, because I'll be able to fix that when I'm doing my 1/4 inch seam. Not a problem, because the seam allowance is in here. Just this one will just be a little bit smaller. So sometimes you'll have to just fudge a little bit. Not a problem. Let me take these to the machine and I will show you our next step. Okay, so I'm going to sew from corner to corner again. And you're going to go right across. Get that in there. Okay. So again, we're just going to clip our edges, readjust the camera, and again to our next step. Okay, so I already have our pieces clipped apart from the chain piecing. Again, we are going to do our cut for a 1/4 inch seam. Just like so. last piece. Okay, and then again you're going to press your seam to the black, and there is your flying geese portion. I will press these open, or press these to the black, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have my flying geese, the seams pressed. This is what you should look like from the back. Then what we're going to do is you're going to take your half triangle squares, and with your flying geese pointed away from you, you're going to want to take and lay the white or your V fabric. It shows right in the diagram, right up against your flying geese. I like to place them all first. That way I know in my head. I'm doing something wrong there. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing? I am doing this incorrectly. Okay. So it's pointed up, and our white portion is going to be, I think my blocks may be directional here. What are we doing? I am a little confused. Okay, there we go. Okay. So it's going to be here, like so. Then your next one will be with the white at the bottom. So they are a little bit directional, I believe. What am I doing? My brain, I am really sorry. Boy, my brain's not working tonight. Okay, there we go. No, it's not. What am I doing? Somehow my pieces have gotten confusing to me. There's that one that's correct. And no, it's not correct. So I am like wishy-washy. Okay, there we go. What was hard about that? I don't know. Right? Yes, okay. I am getting confused. I think I need to gather my senses a little. I did not sleep well last night. That's another tip, that when you are sewing, make sure you're rested. I feel like such a dingbat today. Okay, there we go. I don't know why I was getting so confused with that, but we can double check on our block that we are right. And it will look like this. Okay, so we have our flying geese pointing up, and I just need to think to make a V. Okay, I'm confusing myself for no reason. Okay, so I'm going to take these to the machine, and I'm going to do my right sides together, like, or my right sides together. And I'm going to sew each piece on. And when I've got these all sewn together, I will be right back. Okay, so I have my pieces chained piece together. I have attached the first piece to one side, my flying geese pointed up. I'm going to take the next piece and Make sure. Okay. Sometimes when you pick them up, you can get a little lost in the direction. I really apologize for being so absent-minded today. Okay, so you're going to then sew that last one. Okay, and then we will cut our pieces, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm snipping my threads of my chained pieces to my little thread tail. And you're going to open it up, and you're going to again press your seams to the outside again. Okay, so all of your seams are going to be, one side will be pressed to the right, the next side will be pressed to the left. Okay. Whoops. I am again missing a step. So I am forgetting our next pieces. You're going to take your 2-inch, the remainder of your 2-inch tone on tone, or my black fabric, and I'm just going to place them on, one on each end, like so, and sew a 1/4-inch seam along, whoops, along each piece. This one's laying really weird for some reason. I hope pressing that seam will help that. We will see. I hope so. But this goes, okay, so my wonkiness today, I would, for whatever you want to call my issues today. Some days you got it, some days you don't. Today I don't got it. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay, so we're going to take our pieces, and you're going to put a 2-inch square on each end. There, and one there. We're going to sew with our 1/4-inch seam again, and I will get those and I will be right back. Okay, so all of our 2-inch squares are now sewn to the ends. I have pressed all of our seams. You're going to press the ones on the right, the ones to the left. Okay? Shows you right in the diagrams. I am really sorry I'm so wishy-washy today. But with that, this is where we're going to stop for today. Please like and subscribe to my videos, to my channel. I promise I'm not always like this. It's just one of my off days. On our next video, we are going to be attaching this portion to our previous portion. So will be our corner squares. So how our flying geese is pointed up, like here, we are going to be attaching it to our diamond section. Please stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you soon, and I promise I'll be better. Bye-bye.